we're still playing a bit of catch up for my week away, but this stuff is definitely way newer than some of the stuff we discussed in yesterday's video and way more focused to the point where I wanted to talk about it in its own video. Today, we're talking about Season 2. Even though we got a delay of Season 2 by 2 weeks with a new target date of February 14th, instead of the first rolling into the second, we actually have a bit of decent insight as to things that may be coming. Today we're breaking down operators, maps, weapons, and even an entirely new way to play Vanguard that are quite exciting if you ask me. Today we're talking leaks and data mines, so as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything in particular, anything you'd like to see in Season 2? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're part of that nearly 70% of viewers who are not subscribed and you'd like to help us out on that road to 500,000 subscribers here in 2022, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, let's jump into it. First and foremost, some housekeeping stuff, as always with these types of discussions. Number one, the following discussed items are unreleased and intellectual property of Sledgehammer Games and Activision. So for legal reasoning, I cannot display anything on screen that we discuss. What I can do is drop some links down below, and assuming that they're still up and not taken down via copyright removal, you'll be able to find those things there. Now, number two, things are subject to change. As with all leaks, data mines, and things of that nature, they're not necessarily a guarantee of things to come at a certain point, but instead a snapshot in time of what's in development. Some things may in fact be coming in Season 2, others possibly later on down the line with curveballs throwing things off entirely. Even just as of recently, as an example, the Cold War map of Echelon, that launched in Season 5 of Black Ops Cold War, when the game was almost out of its primary year of support, despite being data mined immediately after the launch of the game, some 8-ish months earlier. So while things can appear to be ready to go, they may not always be exactly coming when we expect, but instead, we can use those as reference points of things actually coming. Now, number three, the content discussed here comes from a handful of individuals in the scene, including Hydra9114, Zesty Cod Leaks, and Nanikos on Twitter. All their links can be found in the description below. But with that said, let's talk about this coming season's leaked content. Let's start out simple. Let's start with the baseline here with this, the marketing images and things like that. We see out of this 3 new operators coming here with Season 2. Those being Anna, Thomas, and Gustavo. Now, Anna is a resistance fighter. She was actually previously leaked before, coming in the leaks and data mined content from just after launch. For a long while, we thought that Anna would be coming in place of, say, Isabella in season with Season 1, given that she was data mined before Isabella, but it looks like she'll be the flagship operator of this season in the coming Battle Pass. No surprise, of course, we have a new Battle Pass coming. That shouldn't be news to anybody. Thomas looks to be coming in season, but not later than the mid-season update, so that sort of maybe 2-week after mark or whatever it may be, or maybe with mid-season, but not after. He's on the first half here from what leakers and data miners are saying, though I still can't get over the fact we have this cool new leveling system with Vanguard for rewards for maxing out your operators, and to do so with each new subdivision. To get those gold and diamond level uniforms, you need to spend $50 on bundles. That will never not bother me this year, if I'm honest with you, but he'll be a bundle introduction likely a few weeks after the launch of Season 2. He's listed as a Spanish-Canadian who fought in World War I but became a tank driver in World War II, and that's a key part of information, but we'll get back to that in just a second. And finally, Gustavo, another bundle operator. He, based off of leaks, looks to come after the mid-season update, somewhere on the back half of Season 2. Now, Gustavo was apparently a socialite living in Paris until he had the chance to deliver intel back to his homeland of Brazil of the Reich's secret plans. He joined the Smoking Cobras and took to the fight. Now, while it's not yet described what the name of this sub-faction is, like Barbarians, Hellhounds, Sentinel, Shadow, or Trident, like the ones we've seen before, this new SOTF designations, patch, and artwork utilizes the Yeti, which makes for some pretty badass imagery if you ask me. It also mixes well in with the art design of the operators and the leaked promotional artwork detailing a bit of snowy vibes, taking to the mountains. But before we jump into the other stuff here about that sort of promo and artwork, finishing up on the operator talk, there actually was a new Attack on Titan bundle leaked with some interesting stuff here in regards to operators. Now, it's unclear yet if it's an operator itself or just a skin for an existing operator. My guess would be the latter, since we have 3 existing operators coming in Season 2, but I mean, who knows? Some leakers are claiming that it will be its own standalone operators. We'll have to see. But this one looking to turn you into, forgive my ignorance on Attack on Titan lore and info, I haven't seen much of it. It looks to turn you into the Armored Titan, which is pretty badass looking. This seems to be a more faithful representation as opposed to what we got with the Daniel skin of the first bundle. And if I'm honest with you, I think that was kind of meant to be Levi, but with the reception of the leaks calling out the resemblance, the marketing was then shifted to just be a standard Survey Corps member and not actually Levi. And the more I think about it, when you have these two sort of big mainstays in the Attack on Titan scene, one being accurate, the other one not, I think that sort of shift post-leak was kind of some damage control if you ask me. But coming back to other stuff, rounding out that operator talk, we talked about tanks. Now, tanks are actually front and center in the Season 2 promotional or loading screen artwork, which is kind of crazy to consider. Tanks, I've been outspoken about them if you follow the channel, any of the streams, anything on Twitter. Tanks in ground war within Modern Warfare, tanks in combined arms within Cold War. Absolutely hate them, but it is something that does look to potentially be coming within Season 2 here of Vanguard. And that then leads directly into the next topic of discussion, is that we actually might see ground war returning here within Vanguard. One image that was leaked was a larger map of scale that looks to be way more in development, which makes me wonder if it's going to be coming in Season 2 or not. But even though it's very bare bones, it's definitely the size to accommodate tanks, and as we just mentioned, with tanks being seemingly a focal point of this, it would make sense for it to be coming in Season 2. Now, this map, though, looks to have a couple of locations, including your home base 1 and 2, rocket site, flak tower, castle, a supply depot, and a radar station. But this could be, if it is in fact a ground war map, massive for Vanguard. And I mean, it kind of fits already the design and intent that they have with Vanguard. We have Blitz, we know that higher player counts are possible here already, so it's just a matter of expanding those maybe a little bit further or giving more space for them to play out, as if sort of the spacing in between gunfights they'd have in, say, a tactical map, but scaled up so it's Blitz with a little bit more area in between. But it could actually be great for a lot of things. Camos are the first things that come to my mind for those still on the grind with that. Snipers in particular would be great. There's not very many maps that accommodate long shots in a relatively easy fashion. Launchers would be great if you could take out tanks and they count as streaks or something like that. And we could also see things then like the return of war potentially happening as an LTM or just standard mode in general. Something that, if this game's any indication, we see so many things repackaged from COD World War II to either relive or fill out the game's offering, however you want to look at it, that it could be a possibility. Not to mention, of the leaks of game files, it could also account for numerous other maps that we've seen in the leak that came out of nowhere, seemingly. I mean, we've talked about how USS Texas has been rumored for a little bit now, but also on that list, and as of recently added, have been things like Alps, Bastion, Tank, and Factory. My guess is that we get maybe 2 to 3 ground war maps here if this does in fact come, mixed in with other 6v6 maps. And that would make a lot of sense, because you're not going to launch an entirely new way to play with only one map, though it might only be 2. Modern Warfare did that, if I'm not mistaken, where at launch we only had Karst River Quarry and Downtown, and then 2 weeks after the launch of the game, we had Kravnik Farmland introduced. So that could be a huge addition for Season 2 of Vanguard or beyond. Though, curiously, it also does seem like Gunfight could potentially be coming at some point as well. That's been whispered about in the leaking and data mine scene as well, but we'll have to see how that all shapes up. Now, weaponry, there has been rumors of the Shosho, that SMG from COD World War II making a return, a shotgun of some kind, and the KH-M40 LMG. Though truthfully, of the leaked imagery of the operators coming from directly in-game, these don't really seem to match up, which is curious as to what it will entail for Season 2 then. As we mentioned in the intro, it is possible that leaks and data mines don't always match up one-to-one, and that instead of a confirmation of what's coming next, it's an indication of what's on the way at some point. So it is still very likely we will see those, but perhaps just in a little bit of a ways off. But it is certainly interesting that we may have these major offerings, these changes to play in regards to ground war coming, maybe gunfight coming, new operators, new weaponry, and all that kind of stuff. Tanks coming. So Vanguard has potentially a lot in store for Season 2, and if that's the case, it gives more time for development to work out or iron out any problems here that may be coming with ground war maps in Season 2. I'm even more okay with Season 2 being delayed by 2 weeks. So that said, that's where we're at here at this, and that, I guess, is where we're going to call it. Before we end the video, though, once again here, check out my friends over at GamerAdvantage. They just launched their new suppressor lenses, which is a new baseline, a mid-level between their premium offering of their glasses and also what you can find on Amazon. 3 times better than any generic thing you'll find on Amazon just on that base one. But if you're looking to invest in your vision health, this is 100% worth it. I've used GamerAdvantage for a year now. Absolutely love their product, and honestly, I swear by it. I swear that they've helped me out tremendously. So if you guys are interested in learning more, check it out, link in the description below. And if you guys want to pick up something for yourself, be sure to use code ESPRESSO to save yourself 10% off your order. But That said, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything of these leaks that you find particularly interesting? Anything that you guys are really looking forward to? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Vanguard, Warzone, and anything COD related. We got you covered here on the channel. So if you're interested, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.